So how do you come alive to this vision? It's likely not a good idea to leave the parachute behind and throw yourself headlong into the wild blue without preparation and a roadmap. The good news? There is a roadmap. Buried in a chapter of the Bible that people rarely visit is a letter that Peter wrote to followers of Jesus who were aching for their souls to thrive. It was during a time not unlike ours of political and social unrest, racial tension, natural disasters, and a couple generations later, a pandemic. As you'll see, Peter's words are some of the most inspiring and soul-shaping insights ever written, and I'm convinced they're the exact message we need for the free fall we're all in. Join me as together we examine 7 gifts that, when practiced through the help of the Holy Spirit, will restore you, cause you to flourish, and even in difficult times, empower you to come alive to the story you were made for. 1. Step into the story. God will still sing to you and call you by name into greater being and fullness of life. It will feel like longing. Lisa Colon DeLay. Late on a Tuesday evening in 2011, a columnist for The Atlantic, David Hadjdu, was sitting in the Village Vanguard, a New York jazz club, doing some research on the city's music scene. The band launched into a song when a stylishly dressed trumpeter in an Italian suit stepped forward and began a spectacular solo. Up to that point, he had been turned from the audience. David Hadjdu was stunned. Is that Wynton Marsalis? How could the world's most renowned jazz musician and the winner of 9 Grammy Awards be playing as a sideman in a hardly known band? And yet it was unmistakably him. Hadjdu sat in the darkroom, mesmerized as Marsalis's unique style, resonance, and breathtaking range stole the show. The 4th song, a moody 1930s ballad called I Don't Stand a Ghost of a Chance with You, featured another solo. Describing it as a wrenching act of creative expression, Hadjdu was spellbound as Marsalis not only played but also physically and emotionally embodied the spirit of the song. As he approached the end of the performance, his fingers sauntered fluently over every note. The crowd leaned forward eagerly. Seconds before the most anticipated moment, the air charged with pent-up applause, someone's cell phone rang. It wasn't just an ordinary ring. It was an absurdly shrill, repetitive jingle that gets glued in your head. Awkwardness ensued as people turned to glare at the flustered offender. He quickly moved to silence the phone, but the damage was done. Hadjdu jotted in his notebook, "Magic ruined." When your soul is weary, magic ruined. I can't help but think of those words when I reflect on the human experience and how our individual lives are often caught off guard by life's intrusions. We've all been there, especially it seems over the last few years. Disruption has come to us through a pandemic, the sting of grief and loss, trying to navigate work, school, and church via Zoom, racial, social, and political tension, global unrest, and economic anxiety, not to mention the complex emotional struggles each of us has waded through. This has been a time of turmoil at every level, and our souls feel it. Maybe for you, a relationship has been shattered because of a political disagreement, or a career you invested in for years dissolved because of budget cuts. An addiction you thought you'd buried suddenly reemerged during months of lockdown, or your trust in God has buckled under the weight of deconstruction. Whatever you're dealing with, there's no doubt that you join the overwhelming majority of us who now know what it's like when the magic is ruined. Recent polls in the United States reveal how we're struggling physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. 75% are overwhelmed by stress. 72% are exhausted. 68% feel defeated. 67% struggle with loneliness. 48% say they're hopeless. The number of people who believe their lives are thriving has dropped to a low not seen since the Great Recession. According to Harvard University, 51% of young Americans say they're discouraged. In the same survey, the majority describe having little energy, struggling with sleep, or finding little pleasure in doing things. It's almost like we're living NF's haunting song, "I'll Keep On." Our souls are tired. Maybe that's what's wrong. Maybe what we're seeing and experiencing is a collective fatigue that goes well beyond whatever's happening out there.